Hi everybody, how are you doing? We're here to do a little repot today. Jack and I had started to show you how to separate the saucer from the pot, because as you know, quite often these porcelain orchid pots come attached to the saucer. Well, we had the camera set up, but it didn't record. We've been having some issues, but anyway, he did knock it off. And I want to show you, if you're trying to do this, it is tricky. And he was hitting each corner, because I'll show you, in these saucers, they put an extra bit of clay at where the foot is, and that's where they're really stuck. But he did get one little crack right there. He did get one. He was using a rubber mallet, a wooden mallet, and what happened was the roots of this orchid have been so going around underneath the pot and around the edge. It was not very happy. And you can even see, look at this root, you can see that where it turned around the corners of the pot and went round and round. And it was struggling, because sometimes it was a little damp at the bottom of the pot, and sometimes it wasn't. Some spots are dry and some aren't. So now this is a no ID Big Lip Phalaenopsis. And it has struggled since I've had it. It's very beautiful. There was 4 flowers, 2 fell off already. Oops, there the root is just separated. Oh dear. Yeah, well, it wasn't very happy, but this part of the root is off now. And this is just hanging by threads where it went around the corner, so I'll probably be cutting it anyway. And I gotta run and get my scissors. Hold on, my pruner. Talking about cutting, and I'll just put it under my stove here, put some meat on it. And I forget what I was using it for, but I don't always remember to clean it when I should, so best to at least do it and then let it cool off a bit. So I think what we want to do is get it out of the pot, and then what I have is, I found another vase. It was a very old one, and very thick. Look at the size of that little piece he cut off. Very thick. And I've got some fir cones in the bottom already. There didn't seem to be any bugs. I think they've just been sitting around so long, there was nothing really in them because it was so cold in the winter. So they seem fine. The pots that I've used them in seem fine. I'm going to show you one after we do this. So I'm afraid this root's off. We're probably going to be trimming the roots. Now this plant has suffered. It seemed to me, and it's not just the last leaf, and I want to show you a close-up of these. This leaf here, very sad. Almost looked like something was eating it, but it wasn't. I think it's just, last summer we had the hottest summer on record, and I think some of them got heat stress, and I've noticed this one, even this is one of the original leaves. So whatever it is, whether it affected the tissues, I haven't noticed bugs on it, and yet one perfect leaf here, but the original leaves even had it, so I think it's always had a humidity. It seems to like to be a lot more humid environment than my other orchids. I've struggled with it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to cut this spike off right about, I'd say, an inch. And I'll be putting that in a vase so we will still enjoy it. And once I get it potted and I'm through playing with water, I'll put some cinnamon on it. So now this root here that's hanging, it's hanging by a thread, basically. I hate to cut roots off, and I never usually do, but it has to go through the pot where it grew out. And I think I'm going to take that right where the thread was. We're going to start out fresh. It's the growing season coming. And I have switched on to my higher nitrogen. I have two. One I've used for ages, and I still use once in a while, but I have my MSM fertilizer, which is 15.5, 15.2. I really like it, and so I have that. And the one I used to use, and I still often use on my cymbidium and my dendrobium, I keep it outside for the growing season. It is a higher nitrogen, but I don't use it very often because I don't want cakeys. But early in the season, and this is just plant prod 25-10-10. Early in the season I will, in the early spring when it's still cool, but as soon as it warms up, I quit this, and I just use my regular all-over fertilizers, which I'll show you when I make those changes. So I have switched over. I only have 2 watering days where I use this fertilizer. The other ones are black tea. Some of you have my water schedule. If you want it, I send it free. So it's not a problem, because my other methods are organic methods where I use black tea soak, and another watering day, 1 day a week, I use Epsom salts and seaweed extract 1 day. So my schedule goes over like 6 weeks. And I'm only using, of those 6 weeks, 2 of my watering weeks am I using that. So anyway, it did get soaked when we took the pot off, and it's going to have issues. I'm going to show you this. What happened is these roots were stuck to the saucer, and they're stuck to the pot all over. It's too bad I didn't do this sooner, but it's going to be very difficult not losing roots, because they're so entwined with each other, and then they're going in and out, and maybe we'll just take some bark out first. I'm afraid this one, I've got a few that I have TLC happening, and it's just very difficult. Yeah, so if you see your orchids and you've got them in one of these porcelain pots, and if you see this happening, you see some of mine I had already taken saucers off the bottom. And that's one reason why it's a good idea to take them off. But just turn it up. This one I see has lava rock, and I think I used lava rock last time I repotted it because I've been trying to get a little more humidity because I knew it liked humidity, and that's why I'm putting it in the glass vase. Let's see. Good dear. That one's loose. Now these ones, they're going in, out one hole and in another. Oh no. I think we're going to have to cut it because I can get one end out or find out what end is the one end. I think we're going to have to make a snip. So we kind of thought we would, and we're going to snip it in the middle because we don't know what end is what end. And then some of them will come out. Huh. We're just about there. Yes, I won't ever do this again. Now, I have picked the glass vase because, as you know, I have had, this one is the only one that's really been in a glass vase. I put this one in November 2022. So, it has been in a year. And this one does have a hole down at the bottom and some halfway. And it has been doing really well, and that's the reason I gambled, and just lately I've switched quite a few over. I've been switching ones I know were suffering because I think they need the extra humidity, and that's what I'm doing with this one. Now, you can't expect immediate results when you do these things. This one's been a year, over a year. But there's a few things I have learned, and this one has no fir cones added for extra space. I suggest bigger size bark if you can get it where you are. Mine was medium bark, and my medium bark is more on the smaller side, like this. I'm in trouble seeing because it's another story. But anyway, what we're going to do is put in the fir cones for a little extra space. You could use anything that you can get that will add extra airspace if your bark is too small. And I do like bark, but if it needs a little extra airspace, so be it. Let's see if we're going to get somewhere here. They are stuck inside and outside. Put my hand down. Oh yeah, they're stuck in there too. Let's see, that one. You have to do this by feel. Sort of. There's another one. Oh. See, now this one is a little big to make it through the hole twice. It is the kind of thing you never know what you're going to be doing next. Now, they're also stuck on the bottom of this pot, right where the feet were. We just about got it, I think. It's gonna wonder what's happening. We're just about got it. It's just gentle and easy does it. There we go. So there's the one I had to cut. It was going out one hole and in the other. And I'm going to show you inside. Inside, I don't know what you can see, but they were stuck to parts of this pot too. So, but now I have a pot that I will use again, but not for one that has wandering roots. Some of mine, they just love, their roots just grow and grow. And so now we're going to assess what we got here. We do have a tangle of roots, and they all seem healthy. I don't see, there's some old dry roots, probably original roots from when I first repotted. They're pretty dry, but we're going to repot it. I'm not picking the bark off. It's been through enough. This one hasn't been repotted in quite a while, and if you see in here, there is a few old roots that I should probably take off. So let's see. Let's see what we can do here. There's some in here. How far up does it go? Can you see that one? Right there. I'm going to take it. It's an old brown one. There. Very old. The rest are good, so it's not as if it was getting too damp in there, because the roots are all dry. Some of these are probably original roots that when it got changed from moss to bark, the ones that didn't make it. Okay. Might as well take them off though. Some of this is my bigger bark too. I'm going to show you. It's not my real small bark. It's been in here a while. And I did do parts per million and I tested my water as it was running through my glass pots with the fir cones in there, and I found no difference. It seemed good, and I will test it again after they've been in longer so everybody can see. I'll do a video of that, but I thought I'd just do an early check, and they seemed fine. So we have nice roots, and we have a few small ones coming, and it's the growing season. And you see, this leaf is one of the original ones. It doesn't look too bad, but this one is one of the original ones. And underside is okay, but this side, it looks like tissue damage. And this one is the one I'm worried about. This one's perfectly fine. And then this one. So eventually that leaf will come off, I can tell by looking at it. But we're going to give it a change, and we'll keep a good eye on it and see what's happening. So I'm just going to, yeah, you can see me. There's a big ring of light around my camera, and I really can't see. It's the strangest thing. They say you need the light, but Jack bought me this light. I wondered, he said it's an early anniversary gift. Because sometimes it's so dark when I'm filming, and then people go, oh, it's so dark. So yeah. I didn't even know he was doing it. I came in from doing something, and then I was making lunch, and here's this big parcel. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. So sometimes if you got a tight fit and you got lots of roots, you do a twisting motion. Now, some of these were out the pot and some of them were in the pot. Holy smokes, maybe I will have to take those fir cones out the bottom. I think I will. For now, I think we're going to have enough roots that there's going to be airspace. Okay, that's better. That's better. It's a shame, you know. I I've got to show you my other one. Do you remember the one that was in an accident and we thought, well, maybe it was root rot or maybe it was something else, and all the leaves came off. And I've kept it in the patio, the new patio, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm getting a basil keiki. So I'm very happy about that, but I think rather than root rot, crown rot, I think it was it had fell during the carpentry work in the kitchen. And I think when it hit, I didn't notice the major stem had been damaged because I thought it was just a leaf that I had to cut off. And I think it was, and then over time, because of the water too, then I think that's what happened. And one thing I've noticed about if you're using the glass vases, at least that's something I've noticed, is have your roots high because it's more humid down in the glass vases, and where the top of the crown is, you don't want to get it too moist. So now we're going to just, I pre-soaked my bark for 3 days with a little bit of, about a teaspoon of Kelly Magic and a teaspoon of seaweed extract, because that does help for the root growth, for sure, both those things. So there will be some airspace, but there will also be humidity. So I'm not going to use this bark again. It's not bad. I'm going to give you a close-up of that after. It's not in bad shape. Stick that in there. Are you seeing this? I hope so. Yeah, I think so. This is always a little messy. And then I have this little stick that Jack made. And I can just, without damaging any roots, get some of the bark to the bottom. Oh, it's going down quite nicely. Here, we'll put a little bit more bark in. I've been, while I do this, I'll tell you a little story. So, I have some very old patio furniture that I paid $5 for at a garage sale for the whole set. But the cushions, it's years old and the cushions were very bad, so I decided I got a big roll of upholstery fabric that was ideal for outdoor stuff. A whole big roll, which I'll show you on our little tour after. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do these cushions. Well, my sewing machine that I had, and I said had, wasn't apt to doing heavy work, and it quit. It was a Singer Kirby or something. And apparently when you read about them online, it says they don't take heavy fabric. Well, something inside the machine that Jack couldn't get near, but he investigated later. He said, you don't want this? I said, no. Mom says, I'll buy you a new one. I've had a sewing machine since I got out of school. And I have to sew. I've sewed everything. Sewed all our clothes and the kids growing up, their clothes. I have to have a sewing machine. So Mom said, okay, Jack ordered one online. I got a new one, so you'll see that too. And, oh dear, I'm seeing rings because when I look over here, there's this light that you're supposed to have on so people can see. But when I look over here, all I can see is a ring. I don't know, it must be too bright or something. Good grief. Always something. Oh, this is going down quite nice. I'll show you. I'm going to get more. So I'll give you a close-up. There's the water, which I can drain out these holes. And there's the roots. And you know, I will come back and finish this because I'll pick and make sure I don't hurt anything. And I'm going to take you for a tour and you'll see what's going on. And now, if this leaf and when this one leaf that's real bad comes off, it isn't the fault of the vase. We'll just have to take our time, hope new leaves are coming. There's a few I'm waiting for new leaves. So, Jack's going to be up for his coffee in a minute. Okay, let me get the camera and take you for a little tour. I'll show you this light that's bothering me. You'll see. Okay, he ordered this online. Now this is supposed, oh, I can see because you look in the camera to see if you guys can see what I'm doing. And all I can see is rings. So here we are. Here's a close-up of the bark. So I can't say it's badly deteriorated. There's some lava rock in here that I sometimes use. And so that's not a problem. And here's the roots we've had to take off. You can see where they turned around the corner of the pot and were stuck to the pot. All flat. Yeah. So there's a close-up of this too. So I really don't know. That leaf's so healthy. One of the original leaves when I got it was not very good, and I thought that was from the sun. So anyway, I'll be poking this down and draining the water out. Because this one has more roots, I'm not going to use the fir cones like I have, because this one here, it has no fir cones, but it has lots of roots. And the flowers and the plant are just loving it. So I have a few still in flower, but they're coming to their end. They started spiking on September 27th. I'm just going to turn this light off. I think that's enough of that. So I have the traffic cones. Yes, traffic cones. Some people say, what do you mean traffic cones? Well, they're the red traffic cones you see standing out in the road where men work. And I've cut the bottom off, or Jack did, and I've painted them and found stands for them. So this one is getting a nice new leaf and the spikes are cut off. My little basket has been flowering since December. I'm very proud of it. It's been very enjoyable. Next year I hope they're all flowering. I stuck a bunch I had lost hope in, all in this many years ago now, and they've come back. And this is a new leaf coming. And in here we have a new leaf coming. None of these other orchids have a problem with their leaf. These roots are growing good. We still have one flower here. And here I have one with a nice spike coming. Okay. Plants, plants, plants. Okay. So these spikes have been cut off, and I hit this watering day on the cupboard, and put a dent in it. I wasn't very happy about that. And we have a flower up here. Otherwise, they're slowly going, but I do have some spikes coming. So right there, a little spike, and I've seen a few on watering day. Okay, let's go over here. Now this traffic cone, which also has many roots. They do love the traffic cone. These are my oldest orchids, and they've just been leafing and leafing and leafing. And these are original leaves. Whoops, see that? When you see something like that, that's scale. You want to take it off. I usually hunt very carefully every watering day. So, new leaves coming there. And these is one. Sherriana, been struggling down to one leaf. These are some that have been struggling from day one, and I have them here in one spot. Here we're doing pretty good. Okay, now the other room, and then I'll show you my sewing project. So, our orchids, we love them. At least I get exercise, you see, I don't have to go to the gym. So here's the other ones in glass. And it won't be the glass's fault when these two leaves come off, because these are the twins, and the reason I took them out of the big red pot they were in is they were both having that issue. So we have to watch for new leaves and see how they do. Now this is the one from the plastic bottle experiment, doing well. This one is down in the pot a bit. Things fell find my sweet. My cactus will be flowering soon. And the dendrobium is got lots of new growth, which is good. Okay, we got a sunny day outside. We're going down the hallway. I'll show you my sewing room. This is the spare room. This is the material. I got a whole bolt of this material. And I've been using it. And it's beautiful outdoor canvasy. Very, very nice, but hard to sew. So anyway, I have 4 cushions I'm going to staple onto the wood, which is underneath. Very old, and then on to the chairs. And this is my new sewing machine. There we go. Thank goodness it can take some heavy work. And there's my bear painting. Now I have to cover your eyes for 1 minute. There we go. Hi. That doesn't like everybody to see his room. So this is where he plays music, entertains me. And over here, this is where I moved the orchid that lost its leaves. And they weren't sad leaves, like all the leaves that came off were beautiful green ones. And I think there was an old damage to this stem. But look at, can you see in there? I'm getting a baby plant. Because if you remember, it had tons of roots. And it's warm in this room because of the fireplace. Now, this is the furniture that I am putting it's old. So this is the furniture I'm putting the cushions on. And look at, we're getting tulips soon. They're just getting ready to perk out. So, yep. Yeah, so this room gets warm. We have a natural gas heat because this was a patio, if you remember. And over here is my cymbidium. So it is drier here. I don't have any misters in here, but this is new growth here. This is a new one, and this is a new one. So I got a few newer ones, And this spring I'm hoping for more. Okay, I'll show you outside. There's a family from up the street. Now, I can't remember having any toys like that. You see that car he has? Looked like it broke down. I'm telling you, we played with pots and pans for years and then just went out and played tag and, oh, now look at this. Look at this car. Okay, anyway, it's a beautiful day and thanks for joining me, and I do try and get more videos out and I will try harder. Thank you and bye for now.